Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.
Witamy wszystkich poszukiwaczy wiedzy na 420 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy czwartek, 3 grudnia 2020 rok, a tematem jest 356 warsztat. I czas przetłumaczony na dzisiaj jest od 6 minut do godziny 19 minut i od 1 godziny 28 minut do godziny 42 minut. Po warsztacie zapraszam do rozmów, zadawania pytań, na które postaramy się odpowiedzieć. Tak więc teraz obejrzymy sobie ten nowy warsztat. Tak więc zapraszam do wysłuchania.
And he will be delivering today's workshop, and I believe he's ready to go. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation, the Spaceship Institute. As you're fully aware that we have entered a phase of what we call universal teaching, universal understanding of everything else that we know in parallel in the world of the man. We have spoken about emotions, of thoughts, of presence, and everything else. Today we try to bring in something new in a way that we have dreamt about it. We thought it's something which is done but we could not replicate. And at the same time, you will become more familiar with the works of the foundation. As we said, we enter universal language, universal knowledge, and in that process, we now have to learn more and more in practicality what needs to be done, what is to be, how we find our position, how we found the strength of our thoughts, how we become part of the universal community by understanding more. One of the most important parts of understanding the new technology is to understand the way fields work, the way we create a condition of the fields, the way we create environment that the fields can show themselves, can operate in, can have the strength that we need. It is part of our work, and in so many ways is what we need to understand more. In the past, we looked over centuries into the skies. We looked at and we watched how planetary system moved. We watched them to see where they position themselves, and we look into the skies at night and they find different stars, different planets, different moons in different position. And we find them that they have a rhythm. They have a what we call unified strength of the fields, that it keeps them in that position. And at the same time, they find position in respect to each other. They have no motors, they have no wings, they have no adjustment, what we call throttles, to change their strength, to position them, to, in a way, interact with the rest of the objects in their system. In the solar system, we have Earth. It rotates around itself, and at the same time, it rotates within the solar system. It has a heartbeat, because we know. And all this happens at the same time. And today, up to the present time, we have never managed to understand how this works and if we can replicate it. We have made gadgets, as we see on the screen, that man has made to show them. Man has made systems, putting the sun in the center and different planets and their moons and everything else on a mechanical system. Up to today, we have never had the knowledge, the technology, and the understanding of the universal work that we could put these moons, we could these planetary systems on their own to function, to show. If you look at this video of the solar system, the way it has been put together, we see that every planetary system moves in a specific way, in a specific position, and we could never really understand the interaction of the gravitational magnetic field of them. In understanding this, we come to see none of these objects are connected like what we saw on a piece of string or on anything else. They work within the fields, within the magnetic gravitational fields of the solar system. They work within the structure of gravitational magnetic field of the universe. What we see on the screen has been a dream of the man, to be able to replicate this, even in a small scale, where we can create these motions, where we can rotate, create day and night, we can rotate to create the annual cycle, and we can rotate in the coming time to understand what we call the solar cycle. And then we come to understand what we have as what they call galaxy cycle, and thereon. For the first time today, we have to strive to understand these motions, to understand how to create systems which can independently, within the fields of a structure, man-made or in the universe, we take our position in the same way. In our structure, we need to understand this. We need to strive to develop systems that can replicate this. Systems that can rotate, at the same time have a heartbeat, and at the same time to be circling a center. And we can, in this way, develop technologies that we can literally universally GPS our position and be able to replicate the structure of the universe, that we can make systems that can replicate this. At the present time, there is no such a knowledge. Has not been up to today. From today, we have access to this technology, has been developed, and in a very small scale, the first step in the development of the technology that can create a living entity like planet Earth, that we can measure, we can distance it in its position. And what we saw in a mechanical system from Harvard University picture before, which was done centuries ago or last century, now we can make a real three-dimensional systems attached to nothing, connected to nothing, uses universal magnetic gravitational fields to manifest itself. For the first time today, we show a major breakthrough in the world of science and technology, which with it we show the first step in man joining the universal community in space travel. This will be the cornerstone of the new teachings, and we will teach this technology. Will be shown for the first time in 2 nations to the officials and the governments, and from then steps will be taken to share that with the rest of humanity. It is important that this is understood, because with this new technology, with this small breakthrough, which we will show in the next few minutes, you will understand a huge step in the science of space, cosmology, man's motion, and everything else which create the condition of life in universe and motion will be shown. It's taken years of development, but in a way, what you will see is a major breakthrough in the world of physics and science. For the first time, we don't need to make what we're seeing as the moons that we saw in the workshop, in the shop of the Keshe Foundation. This is the maximum we have managed to achieve. Placing magnets to create position. If you look at the moon, which is for sale in the Keshe Foundation shop, you see it has a rotation, but the base cannot move. It's locked in position. It has no heartbeat. It has no existence of the confirmation that it is an entity which can position itself in what we call its environment. This has been the limitation. This has been what we have achieved up to now. This is what mankind's knowledge and science and technology has managed to give us to create such a position. Levitation. Levitation is what we have achieved. Fixed, using inertia. Not creating gravitational magnetic fields as a maggrav to be able to hold the inertia and the magnetic gravitational field together. For the first time in the world of science today, we show you this breakthrough. And then we leave to world scientists to develop it to the next step. Because once you be able to create such a perpetual rotation in 3 dimensions, mankind will reach the pivotal point of maturity that it can control its 3-dimensional thoughts, its being, its existence. Then traveling the way we see in the objects like UFOs become not just an object to travel, but becomes an object which has emotion, which understands the soul of its passengers, which travels in the dimension of existence. In the structure of the universe, this is normal. And now we add to the knowledge of man. We add to the extent that now we can live in an environment that not only creates energies and the fields that works within the structure of the heartbeat of the man, it works within the structure of the heartbeat of the soul of the man. Mankind has never understood that, as it says, I made the man in the image of myself. Even the soul of the man has a heartbeat. For most of you who take the systems and you make the cup of soul, you have not had the heartbeat of the soul. Your system lacks completion. Your system is not complete. Your system has 2-dimensional life. The essence of its dynamism, the essence of this heartbeat of the soul is missing. That is why most of your systems do not respond. This is why you find out whatever you have made up to now is hit and run chance, not precise. In the coming new enhancement units, all this has been covered. In a way, we embed in it the soul of the man. We embed in it the heartbeat of the soul. We embed in it the material which makes the living that soul possible. This is a major understanding in the world of science for those who call themselves man of knowledge. From today, we shall see a new structure, independent. Very much like the moon, we will show you that the structure is free. We will show you how we have managed to achieve the heartbeat, which is the heart soul of the entity. We show you how we manage to achieve what we call self-rotation, perpetual motion, and at the same time, you will see for the first time holding on to the position. And if you put all 3 together, you will find out with what we will show today, we have reached the position not only to show the soul of the man can be contained in the dimension of the what we call the heartbeat of the soul, but we can show the same technology can be used for positioning man in a space. In the same time, we can create a solar system structure, a universal structure that we can in reality work within real data for positioning our spacecrafts and our soul in a given position and time. What you will see is very simple. What you will see is amazingly simple, but it's taken man thousands of years to achieve. And we have to understand the implication of it. We have to understand the application of it, and we have to understand, for man to be given this gift, man needs to sign himself to peace. Because with this revelation of today, you'll find out everything can be copied. Everything can be used to create new condition, enhance the soul of the man, enhance the physicality of the man, enhance and develop systems which can travel the depth of the universe in no time. This is the first step. This is where, as humanity, we will see, as was said, this is a small step, but a giant leap. It's a huge leap in the world of science. World scientists who will understand what is to be shown today, they will understand the world of physics, the world of cosmology, the world of medicine, in a real three-dimensional effect has changed. This is what we promise you. We bring you the universal system, the way the universe works, and through this, within the next few months, we'll strive in collaboration with the Iranian government, with the Sepah of Iran, with the Chinese defense technology, to bring this technology into forth. We have committed ourselves to peace to these two nations. And in the coming time, you will see a collaboration between the two nations to deliver this technology directly from Tehran and Beijing. We have committed ourselves to this, and we'll see this technology will come out in a peaceful way for development of what we call the next step in being able to become man of universe. In so many ways, this new technology will change the game of power, energy, will change the structure of social structure on this planet, where we can feed people directly without satellites. We can eradicate illnesses directly through the systems, positioned in strategic points around this planet. Feeding the man with these systems will replace the present satellite system altogether, where we change the line of communication through the soul of the man, and we change the line of communication through a structure of the feeding the soul to feel the physicality, where the man shall not kill, where the man will respect another life. The implication of what we to show will change everything man has achieved today. In our work with the Iranian officials, through the team of Sepah of Iran and team of the Chinese space technology, we deliver new satellite system. Exactly the way the system has been in a universal structure, where there is no need for power and there is no need for feeding and depending on energy source. In this process, we bring Europe in line, and with it, we establish the world peace. This is not a dream, This is the fact and the reality which is in the position of the Keshe Foundation. And we share, as we've done up to now. We respect the knowledge and integrity of every culture, but no nation. And with it, we'll bring the understanding of humanity to the same level. As of today, when the scientists understand what is delivered, all the satellites we have developed up to today becomes obsolete. From today, all the nuclear missiles become obsolete. From today, all those who think about war will not even understand what the word means, that it will not exist in their vocabulary. Mankind will enter a new era of a space development, a new era of satellite, what we call entities, which man will develop for a specific purpose to harvest. In so many ways, we have achieved a breakthrough and we share our knowledge. In totality, we have achieved much, and we have achieved a lot to be able to see, to show, and to be delivered. Sorry about that. The whole structure to understand how fields in the universe work, that the interaction of the fields allows the motion, allows the creation of condition of life, allows to be able to replicate and sustain life as is and shall be on any position in the universe. The explanation of the new technology is simple. We do not create a dynamic field which is locked to a position. We create a dynamic system which is locked to the universal position. We create a dynamic system in gravitational magnetic fields without motors, that the forces of the universe will dictate the position and the speed of the rotation. The new technology is not locked to a position. The new technology is using fields of the universe, creating the environment of the fields of the universe, that we can replicate systems. In a way, for the first time, we create levitation, not. We create gravitational magnetic fields of the position. We are independent of time and the place. We are independent of any motor. We are independent of any magnets. We are independent of anything which locks man to matter state. In a way, we become locked into the fields of the universe. You got to understand, in the videos and the pictures we show, we had to take a lot of steps to make sure no one can see the structure. It might look a bit obscured, but at this moment of time, we prefer for you not to see how and the way it's done. We'll show you, as you've seen in the enhancement unit material production in Linz, the system freestanding on its own stand. The system to be as it is, like a sun on its own. But this time, within this sun, there is a structure of the solar system, which means within it, we have created field structure that planet like Earth can exist, and within the environment of it, it can maintain its heartbeat, it can maintain its rotation, and it can maintain its circulation around. If you understand this, developing systems like the heart of the man becomes absolutely child's play, which means not only we will create the heartbeat, we can create the circulation of the blood system, we can create the condition as the magnetic fields which the blood creates to feed the man without the blood. This is important in the future technologies, that no matter where the mankind is in the universe, his base amino acid will have no more what we call accessibility by other fields to interact, to endanger the life and the position of the soul of the man within the structure of his physicality. In a way, we have replicated, and we can replicate the magnetic gravitational field of the blood of the man to hold and contain the soul of the man in its strength, in a conjunction with the soul, that in the future, man can take any position in the universe. This breakthrough, this understanding, in a way, is the beginning of a massive development in the process of mankind. And in the same time, and at the same time, we will come to understand more about the work of our own system. In a way, we will understand more in space and time. In a way, we understand more about our work. In a way, we understand more about how in the future mankind will be able to travel the spans of the universe. In so many ways, mankind has entered a new cycle of knowledge. A cycle of knowledge which is the universal knowledge, and in that process, mankind will enter to understand the totality of its creation. In so many ways, we will see the next step development. Rick, could you please check your secure line, please? We show the yellow first, and then when I ask you, you release the video. What we show you first is, for scientific reason and security reasons, you will see that we have managed to create the structure of a solar system without any attachment. It's just as it is in the structure of the enhancement unit sitting on the pole, where in that position we see detachment, we see the freedom. In a coming time, this ball itself will be kept in a floating condition. This is to show that there is no motors attached, And a solar system is within this ball. This is to show, for the first time, we don't use anything which mankind is used to. Could you show the video, please? This video will be and is one of the cornerstones and major breakthrough in the world of cosmology and physics. Now we can replicate the work of electrons and protons. We can replicate every cell within the structure of the what we call plasmatic atomic structure. In understanding this, we open a new era in the world of science. This technology is a major breakthrough. As you watch this video, you understand why. As you see, the ball is like the sun or Earth, rotating on its own axis and taking a solar circulation. As you see in the floating of the water, you see the heartbeat of the system within it as it produces it. This has never been achieved. Independent rotation, perpetual rotation in 3 dimensions and within the structure at the same time to be able to create that heartbeat. Now, by adding more the structures like this in this sphere, we can replicate Earth and its moon rotating at the same time together within the structure of the solar system. We can add gravitational magnetic field strength of every planet on this solar system. And this will bring new dimensions as we will produce energies which is absorbed within the energy of the liquid, and then we can drain that to feed, to create new conditions. We can use this system and technology to create perpetual satellite system around Earth and systems which is a copy of our own existence. As I said, this is absolutely a breakthrough in the world of science and technology. In the moon and the UFO, you were centered to one point. In what we call creation of motion and creation of the whole structure, we use the totality of the understanding of the creation of speed, motion, and life as is in universe. We will, in coming weeks, release more detailed development on this. But those of you who understand the work of cosmology, those of you who understand the work of physics, those of you who understand atomic and nuclear structure will understand the game of tokamak is over. The game of creating plasma on an entrapped environment with massive energies to control is over. This takes micro and milliamps to produce. But it works at the level of the creation of energy of the universe. This video will be shown for centuries to come if man understands as first time on this planet, man has matured to understand the work of the universe. In the coming weeks, as we show you more systems, we will show you how the light will be created in this system. But there is one point. In a coming time, there shall be no liquid in this ball. It'll be exactly as is in a universal condition. within the fields of the oceans of the gravitational magnetic field of the universe, where we create a miniature with the same knowledge and technology. In a way, mankind has entered the real phase of universal development of technologies which will change the course of humanity, makes whatever we done up to now obsolete, because now we don't need to create an atom with a given electron. We create the energy of the electron in its own dynamic system to lead to the creation of the atom. In so many ways, this video, in its simplicity, creates a new beginning for many of you knowledge seekers. If you understand it, and in due course, as I said, with collaboration with the Chinese and the Iranians, we develop the satellite system with this within coming months. I shall return to Tehran in a short time and to Beijing to complete the work with the two nations. Then the agreement between the two nations and with Russia will allow, if the Americans accept the World Peace Treaty, to be shared with them. This will paralyze and disengage all present satellite systems which are used for controlling mankind. With it, we deliver systems which, with it, will stop infection of the viruses on this planet, where there is no need for vaccination. On my return to Beijing in coming days and Tehran, we rapidly in our negotiations complete this directly with the scientists. A free access will be given to both nation scientists. There are more which we'll release to complete the cycle. At that point, we reach negotiation with the European community that no arms shall be made on this continent. Cornerstone of change. On the other hand, we shall be able to feed the nations through satellite system, where no man will sleep hungry and receives what it needs day and night. The way you receive the fields of your mobile phone does not matter where you are. We don't lock to you, we make it available that the soul and the soul of the man takes what it needs. This is what will change the course. This is part of the technology of the universal community, which is getting delivered in step by step to scientists that can understand it and committed to peace for creation of the next generation of man, peaceful man and man of universe. Creating that heartbeat is the cornerstone of existence. Showing life, showing being able to release energies of the plasma at a given rate, that in totality everything tunes. We have a heartbeat. Our heartbeat tunes to the heartbeat of the earth, and the heartbeat of the earth tunes to the heartbeat of the sun, and the heartbeat of the sun changes and tunes to the heartbeat of the galaxy, and to the universe, and to the unicos, and to the creator. Now we have access and the knowledge to achieve this point. In so many ways, this little ball, and this ball as you see rotating, and with its heartbeat, can be the womb of a mother, creation of a life. Do we need to create the children of physicality to suffer, or through this technology we create the children of the soul, that their life will change the course of humanity. And in so many ways we have shown the first step to life without dependence on the physical condition, unless we choose to. As I said, it's the time for knowledge to be released, that mankind within the next 4 months from now be able to access the universal community and to universal conditions. Creation of life through dimension of existence, creation of life through dimension of physicality, creation of life through dimension of physicality in the soul at the same time, where the man will create the new cycle. This in turn will open and brings mankind to the point of peace and entry to universal community. The process has already started. And in that system and in that level, we teach you more as we develop. Creation of condition that man will live independent of food, independent of understanding the environment if it does not want to manifest itself, and into the position that the mankind moves to newer structure. As I said, in the coming months, we'll make the present satellites obsolete. A new communication and a new computer system through this technology will be released through the two nations. And then we shall see in the next couple of years, the present computers will become obsolete. With this understanding, the present automotive industry has become obsolete. We see man will never tap into the resources of this planet to destroy it, and with it destroy his own environment. This is, those of you who understand the breakthrough in the world of science which mankind has been waiting for, to be able to use the fields of the universe to tap into universal energy and to be able to live what has been his dream, a free energy, which means it's free from the universe and not by name. In a way, these units will tap into the universal energy to feed themselves, and through it to feed mankind and humanity, that the man shall not kill to survive. In a way, this is a response to last week's question. What do we do when we slaughter animals? Now, in a rapid development, this will not be needed. In a way, it will be a two-way trip. While we're developing the technology, the heads of the Keshe Foundation negotiate with governments for peace. The education of the technology in parallel with all the nations, and that falls on the responsibility of the two heads of the Keshe Foundation. It's the responsibility of Universal Council members to make sure the nations reach the same understanding with the heads of the Keshe Foundation, that they receive the technology on the basis of peace. As the nations sign themselves into peace and abolishing the war tools and the guns, is the responsibility of Universal Councils to complete the negotiations, to reach and achieve peace in a rapid way. In the coming weeks, as we show more powerful system like this, we'll take the whole structure of the man needing wheels to move, man needing tools, a physical dimension to make energy and food obsolete. In the coming months and years, no man, no animal will die of hunger. As we make available these satellites to feed the man, the lion, and the lamb will be fed to. We create conditions that the feeding through protein absorption will become part of this satellite system. As I said to you weeks ago, we make the present satellite system obsolete. Now you have seen the first step, where we not only communicate through these systems, we'll feed, we'll create conditions of peace, and we'll find lions on the streets of our cities as we find man, as no one is hungry to kill for the other. It becomes pleasures of life, and at the same time we open the structure that those who have been the passengers of the universe and the guests on this planet will manifest themselves. The golden age of knowledge for human race starts from today. It is upon man to decide which way he'll take steps to his own annihilation of his own individual soul or collective soul of humanity to step forward. In so many ways, with this simple video, we welcome mankind, these first tentative steps towards understanding of the universal knowledge and universal community. In so many ways, using this technology, in the coming weeks and months, collectively our scientists will strive to recover and, in a way, develop energies from the universe which has been hidden from man. As I said many times, 8 billion population for this planet is not enough. As now with this knowledge, we'll become passengers of the universe in such a rapid way that this planet will lack population. Within the next 5 to 10 years, as this technology is fully developed, mankind has to look for new resources and new ways to create new souls that the population on this planet can sustain existence without suffering, without hunger, without lack of resources. As with this technology, we have opened the universal energy to mankind. I promise I take man to universe, and this is the first step. As I said, on my return to lab, I have washed my hand in the operation of the Keshe Foundation gradually, as by being in the lab, we deliver the soul of the knowledge, and with it, the new technologies which will break through in the coming times for the whole of humanity. The structure in its totality is unique. The structure in its existence will become a way of absorbing energies from the universe that does not rely on man to tap into no more. No more into the energy of another animal, no more into the energy of the resources of this planet, no more into energies of the universe, which he does not need. Self-sufficiency through self-need become part of the life of the man like the rest of the universal community. In a simple word, we welcome mankind to universal community. Value the knowledge, respect its application, and in time we teach you more. In so many ways, we enlighten the souls to work with us, and in that process of enlightenment, we bring the condition that gradually we transfer the knowledge to those who are selected and precious to us, to be able to carry the candle of the knowledge and universal interaction within us, amongst you, and amongst you with those who will become part. We welcome you in the first step of your journey into the depth of the universe. The first tool, the first understanding of the operation, and in so many ways, a system which has a soul, a system which has an understanding of the humanity and the universal community, and through it, if you understand in a coming time, you will need not to learn no languages, as the system with you, within you, will speak every language on this planet and in the universe, as it carries through the emotion of the soul and it translates itself to any dimension and extent of understanding by the others who are the passengers of this unicos. We welcome you. As long as you stay peaceful, and as long as you understand this technology will affect every one of us. As I said to the knowledge seekers, when this system runs in the lab, everything evolves and works around it. Just look at the shake of the water. Confirm the heartbeat. Heartbeat is a cornerstone of operation of the plasma within the structure of the universe. And in so many ways, we have started a new journey for mankind, a new journey in science, technology, and ethos, and the faith of the man. In so many ways, the knowledge of the past prophets is open to every man, and it's for the man to judge himself according to the strength of the soul he attains. As I said, never ask, and if you ask and you're given, is your right. Mankind asks for peace and end of suffering, and we have obliged. It's now up to mankind to take that step to the next stage. And in the coming time, with the agreement with the beautiful nation of China and Iran, will force the knowledge to become part of the life of the man on this planet, where the jungles are not limitations for the animals to live, and where the cities by the rivers are not limitation for the man to live, to have access to essentials of the life. In so many ways, we have freed the man from the shackles of this planet, as we've done the animals from the shackles of the jungle. Let's see how humanity will take this knowledge and how, as a whole, we enter the universal community. We welcome you, but be careful, we watch you too. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. And as usual, I advise the attendees that they can raise their virtual hands and we can acknowledge you and allow you to speak.
I bet Mr. Kremen's workshops on Wednesdays will have a different flavor from now on.
Well, it's certainly very interesting, Mr. Keshe, and we're hoping that you can give us a few more clues on this, but I know
Are you looking for clues or glues?
well, something that'll stick.
Get
That's
stuck
for
to
sure.
and don't be flexible. In a way, is the process development of the totality of the knowledge we have taught over years.
Yes, you spoke about this phenomenon many times in terms of the interaction of the fields and the rotation and so on. And this seems to be the culmination of that. So you mentioned like three main aspects, which is the rotation, then the heartbeat, and then I call it the revolution, or around the center. So we see all of that going on in this video here. And someone mentioned in YouTube, before we even saw the video, let me see if I can get the quote here, from Heilangu, could be Japanese, I think, perhaps Chinese. He says, heartbeat equals frequency, ? Although we've been told there is no frequency in the universe. And then after we saw the video, I commented back to him, is it frequency or is it a heartbeat? And we can see there's like a frequency to the rotation. You could say technically in a sort of scientific way, but it's more of a heartbeat. It's not a regular rotation. It's actually more like a beat to it than a frequency usually has a regular wave to it. This is irregular. It's not you can see it rotates a bit and then it jogs a bit and rotates a bit. And it's a heartbeat. That's the best way to describe it. And
the beauty of it is, if you look at it, it's rotating on its own axis, like Earth, but it's rotating in the same circle within the cup of field. In future videos will show there'll be no medium. There is no cup in the solar system. Interaction of the field will create the new condition. One of the principal conditions with this technology, understanding the work of the universe, is the sun does not just radiate fields out. The sun, through its shell, receives back the fields which are sent out to create the gravitational pull internally within its structure. And this is the key to what we call the operation of the new technologies. You don't look at, up to now, we have been in so many ways understanding the soul of the man. Now we understand the soul of the system. The soul of the system is not in that ball which rotates. The soul of the system is in the center of that ball where there is liquid. It's that center point which keeps this ball in its distance, in its position. As we will create new conditions, you will see that this ball and the other balls which will be shown, like the Earth and the Moon, will have their own rotation. In a way, we can make replication of the solar system in a container. This is the beauty of the new technology. As it says in the background, one planet, one nation, one race, one knowledge, one technology. And as you can see in the shape of the structure inside, when you look, it looks like a face. It's got two eyes and a nose. And if you look at it, it's very much the structure of a planet. Maybe the knowledge seekers in the coming time will bring a new dimension to it. But as I said, my prime work in visiting China in the coming days and Iran is to deliver primarily the new satellite system in the space defense technology, which means in a rapid way, we will deliver food into these nations through this new satellite system. In a way, the scientists will make sure there shall be no hunger. And with it, we transfer knowledge. And every soul, according to his strength, will take from it. There shall be no need for education institute as we deliver the knowledge through these systems to the soul of the man. KFSSI will have a new meaning for those who've been battling it to teach on the net. KFSSI will teach internationally through the nations, not through the website of the Keshe Foundation. This is the work which will sit with the head of the education of the Keshe Foundation and the heads of what we call medical and agriculture, to negotiate through new understanding with the nations. Where do we need to grow to feed, or do we feed the soul of the man through these satellites that man does not need to eat? This small video will change the future of mankind in a very, very rapid way, because scientifically mankind has developed. Now everything can rapidly be implemented and delivered. My message to CPC and the Chinese head of state, President Xi, is simple. Accommodate the Keshe Foundation technology in China, that with it through the scientists in Iran, we bring peace and equality. The same goes to the head of Iran, religious leaders and government leaders and the head of Sabah. We bring the technology to Iran to become the stepstone in peace. We took this step in the last Monday teaching in the Keshe Foundation Farsi language, where for the first time, Hebrew speaking member thoughts and his wishes from Tel Aviv directly to the heads of the Iran nations as they were online. In a way, the Iranian leadership has to understand, as their appointed leader spoke in the teaching, that the Iranian nation, according to his ethos of Shia, is a peaceful nation and stays with the rules of Zoroaster. For those of you who were not there and don't understand the culture, you have to understand for 40 years, no one spoke to the Iranian nation from Tel Aviv. The knowledge brought the barrier. The sharing of the knowledge broke the barrier. And in so many ways, it became independent of religion, borders, as the Iranian knowledge seekers understood and shared knowledge with the people of Israel, where governments had problems to talk, where knowledge seekers enjoy each other's company. I thank the Universal Council for Farsi and Hebrew language. I thank the head of the Iranian Keshe Foundation for such a step that showed we are all the same, of the same blood and the same heartbeat of the planet. And with this, we invite the scientists from Israel to join the Iranian scientists in the development of this technology. In a way, 30% of the Israeli nation of the Iranian descent. And in this way, we start the step for peace through understanding of the knowledge, science, and technology. You got to realize the step took last week for the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers, both in Tehran and Tel Aviv, to share is a huge step in peace in the Middle East, where we are invited to return back to Tel Aviv and learn from them and share with the Iranian scientists and the Iranian leadership that people can talk while nations and heads of nations find an excuse for war. With knowledge, there is no war. And as I said, I thank the Hebrew Universal Council and the Iranian and the Farsi Universal Council members for such a step to break the barriers where the two nations can talk and start talking. And we receive the message of peace from Iranian leadership, especially requested by them in the teaching. We thank the Iranian leadership and the Sabah for taking this courageous step to start the peace talks. Citizens will force the government. And now we have a government and citizens who are prepared to take that step. We ask for the support from the Universal Council for this move, to bring peace through knowledge between all nations. Any other question?
Yes, we have Salamia with the hand up first, and then John Blevin after that. Go ahead, Salamia. Hello, Salamia, can you unmute? I did have a question in the Q&A about, can you help ITER to their reach?
I think that system is obsolete if you understood this technology.
Okay, let's go to John Blevin here.
Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Good morning, John. How are you?
Fine, thanks. So the creator of that ball has the ability through his emotions to determine what that ball can create, if you will.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes. That's the fastest yes you ever received.
Yeah.
You have a blessed soul, John. You understand this very quickly.
Yeah.
The process is, as we mentioned, in the universal system, enhancement unit for the evolution and development of the humanity. In so many ways, the universal systems become the backup and become part of the essential of life on this planet for the human race. As the satellite will provide the basic, these systems will enhance and eradicate any damages and needs. In a way, when we introduced the enhancement unit, was knowing that this technology is going to be released. And in so many ways, this technology and the enhancement unit are integral part of each other. We'll explain more. The enhancement unit, which will be delivered in coming weeks to especially like Arizona, will carry this new technology within them. We are restructuring and refitting everything, that we don't wait for the old system to come in and change. The new systems with all the units sold around the world will be fitted with this new structure. Which means we will see rapid enhancement of the soul and the physicality and the illnesses. As I said, within 3 to 5 minutes, when the system is fully matured, will eradicate any cancer, will eradicate any condition of change. We'll go into these systems not to be curing, we're going into these systems to keep tuned, to be always perfect condition, not only in the level of the physicality, but the level of the soul. Upgrading and keeping constant life. In a way, the cycle of life would not be 50 or 80 or 100 years. The physicality lives as long as the soul of the man lives. Never ending, unless you decide to share and give your soul to be added to another. This doesn't mean that the end of physical life. This means maturity to the physicality and physical life. And all this will be completed on 21st of March next year. We have 4 months to go. It took 4 billion years to educate man to the point of this. It'll take us 4 months to mature man to his ultimate goal.
So is it only possible to that the creator of that soul is the only person that can control it with their emotions?
Yes, we can have individual systems.
So another person couldn't hijack by.
Nope. Can anybody hijack your soul?
No.
So you have created accessibility to a bigger dimension through the same soul.
Thank you for that answer.
You're welcome. I think you're one of the first ones you will see this technology in work in Arizona. Any other question?
There was a couple of questions in the Q&A that are similar, so I'll put them together. One from Antonio, who says, Mr. Keshe, this is amazing. The ball rotating has a heartbeat. Is that what makes it move? And then Hassan says...
The heartbeat comes from inside the ball. The rotation, perpetual rotation on its own, comes from the interaction of the fields inside it. The rotation within the ball comes from the interaction from the inside and outside. There are 3 sequential systems.
Okay, Hassan goes on to say, you said this motion shows in a way the heartbeat of the soul and will be accessible to those who are peaceful. Is this motion created totally out of unconditional love?
In so
Thank
many
you,
ways,
Mr.
yes. Yes. The people who are of the peaceful mind and sharing are within the lab during this development. And we tap on their existence and their soul. The head of the Keshe Foundation, the head of the research of the Keshe Foundation, they have a peaceful and a beautiful soul which continuously during development is present. That's why we kept it this way. Because it's part of the essence and essential part of the creating such a position. Because you need the souls who understand this work and are committed to peace. No one at this moment in the research center is there by their own choice. They've been brought to be in a way by being around to the peaceful structure of this development. We have a lockdown, not only in the nation, but in the research center. Because those who are there come with that essence of peace and unity to create that condition for humanity. It's a strange place at the moment, but nobody feels it as much as when they are in. We have created a condition of the peaceful souls to be and gradually to become. They have to find their own peace. And with it, we extend to the planet and beyond.
Yes, we have a couple more hands up here. Kay, would you like to go ahead?
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Keshe.
Hi, good morning, Kaushan. Are you okay?
Yes, thank you. God bless you. Beautiful knowledge, beautiful information. Thanks for sharing. You might have covered it already, or I might have just missed it. The question is, the ball which is rotating in this setup, has it actually manifested itself through the field strengths that you have created, or you have actually put physically a ball in there and then created the field for it to rotate the way it does?
We have created the ball in a specific way, and we have created an environment for it, universal environment. This goes back initially, if you go to the conference in Holland, in Eindhoven, I open a green lead box and it says, this is the box of universe.
Yeah.
Now we show that box, what's inside it and how it works. And in due course, we create fields and conditions that you don't need the liquid, the medium. And in so many ways, I sat in front of oscilloscope yesterday when it was, we were testing other things. And it's amazing how you can transfer your thoughts and the system can pick. The system built is extremely sensitive because it's made of structure of man's body. And in that process, it'll respond that way. This is part of the release of knowledge and technology.
Mr. Keshe, could I also ask, please, again, you might have covered it, I understand that this system that you're creating, just like the replication of a solar system, it actually, you could replicate it on the Earth atmosphere, within the atmosphere itself, rather than just outside the atmosphere.
This is part of the new satellite system to replace the present satellite. The cost of producing such a satellite system with what we want to deliver will be less than $100.
Amazing.
The production cost of the system in front of you is less than a couple of dollars. We are not striving to edge of science, we're striving to edge of knowledge. Anyone can produce this at home. I gave you the cup of life. This is the cup of universe. You can drink from it through the soul of the man. But its development and developing into the next steps will cost huge amount of time, energy, and finance, which only the two nations of the world can afford. Don't forget, as I was told, I don't know if I'm correct, today is Thanksgiving Day in the United States. And in that purpose, in that direction, we thank the Creator for the knowledge dispensed to us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. God bless you.
Thank you very
Bless
much,
you for
Coach.
eternity.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Gatwa up next. Gatwa, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Keshe.
Good morning, Mr. Katwa. Or Dr.
Thank you
Katwa.
very much. Thank you very, very much for this golden age of knowledge to man. I welcome this gift to humanity. And hopefully, I hope that this spreads throughout the world immediately.
Don't hope. We are on the road in the coming days and weeks across the nations who will be transferred knowledge to. And through it, very rapidly, to create the next steps of development of rapid technologies to make the present war tools obsolete. That's the prime goal. And this is why we are reaching to the Chinese nation, heads of nations, and to the Iranian heads of nations. The two peaceful nations can collaborate in a very rapid way.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. I definitely welcome peace throughout the world. Now, I have a question. Since this system is intelligent, I am assuming that the creator of this system communicates with it. Can others, such as ourselves, wherever we are, have access to that communication with the system remotely?
In a way, this knowledge is not a secret knowledge. It's a knowledge which already exists in the universal community. When a man taps into the universal knowledge level, it's part of it. We just show mankind to gradually to enter into that dimension. There is a lot of need for a lot of understanding to be able to develop this to the next step. Two people can sit and make the same system. One will work and one will not, because the intention of the soul will count on it. This is to envy and be better, system collapses. If it's there to share and elevate, the system will work like nothing. It's the intelligence system, but then the intelligence is soul of the man, not the physicality. This ball rotating, the way you see, is for what we call the scientists of today, if you really go down to, is non-existence. We see it in our planetary system, we see it on the solar system, we see it how our galaxy float on the ocean of fields of the universe, but we have never managed up to now to replicate it. Now we can. Now we have entered a new era. In a way, the science and technology of it is collection of all the things I have taught over past years. But you have to understand every, as we say in English, nitty-gritty of it, every aspect of it, and be able to connect it together. The reason we don't teach it, one is for peace purposes, secondly, for what we saw with the mayhem with the maghreb system. Any other question?
Okay, we've got Dean, I think, is next here. Then we've got
Oh, I was
Stephanie.
muted. I was asking, but I was muted. I muted myself. Sorry. So I had a final question. How long, Mr. Keshe, will mankind now be free? Will take to be free of hunger and disease now that the system is already in place?
Not long, depending on the government. Can you do a check, please, the IT? Who is this Baba Jenny? Can you remove it or keep it if you know who it is in your attendees?
I believe that person has been here before.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can we clarify? Could you clarify in the background who it is? Thank you very much.
I don't have any way to do that, but maybe Stanley can.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other? Yes, carry on, Dr. Gatwa. Dr. Gatwa hasn't finished his question.
Yes, Mr. Keshe. My last question was, how long will man now take to be completely free of disease and free of hunger now that the system is already in place?
It depends on the world leaders. We have chosen a specific way through two nations, as many of you have seen, and we've seen the connections of it. We see the new American administration as a peaceful administration, scientific-based administration. Secondly, we see a large number of Iranians within the new administration who have been given position and the ear of the president. We see in the new administration in America a way for humanity to change course, but in a way we can never leave it to the Americans to do it. We work through what we call the two nations. We don't give it all to one nation that becomes exclusivity and we have problem in the future. We share it between the two, Iran and China, that with it we cover the totality. Then we see how it goes. You got to realize nations have spent trillions in these satellites. Now, with the stroke of a pen, they're obsolete. Nations who don't have the satellite system like this will strive to position it very rapidly because it gives them upper hand. Nations who have spent billions in satellite try to stop it. That's why we go between the Iran and Chinese and the others. Accessibility to this knowledge has to be a God-given right of existence. Teaching it for man to become peaceful is the responsibility of the heads of the Keshe Foundation and the Universal Council. As I said to the heads of Keshe Foundation, you were hoping to teach and set up the Keshe Foundation KFSSI, to set up a net. I give you the heads of nations which give it to you freely for you to teach their citizens. This is the difference, and this is why we've been holding back in so many ways to push the teaching, because this teaching has to be brought in under the cover of the nations where they teach all their citizens. And as I said, to the heads of the Keshe Foundation, in all negotiations from now on, it's your responsibility. I deliver the technology, you deliver conditions and technology of the education. KFSSI education, the way we kept it is good for the KF as it is, but now KFSSI has to move and be given to the nations through the heads of the Keshe Foundation, and that's why they'll be present in all negotiations. I deliver technology and its power, and it's their job to bring the conditions of use and the rest of it to the world leaders. As I said to them before, you don't ask them, you show them the beauty, they buy it with the soul. And we show the beauty of the technology, and it's their job to, what we call, make it the dream of the heads of the world, to bring the best for their citizens. We don't bribe their pocket, we enhance their souls to understand the totality. And this is the job of the heads of the Keshe Foundation and the Universal Council. The Universal Council members, in time, in the coming weeks, will be given that chance to negotiate with the nations, technology and knowledge in exchange for disarmament and peace.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe, for answering my questions and for bringing this golden age of knowledge. And
Dziękuję za wysłuchanie, za obejrzenie tego materiału. Myślę, że każdy coś z tego wyniósł. Jeśli ktoś chciałby jeszcze coś dopowiedzieć według swojego zrozumienia, to zapraszamy, lub może są pytania, to również.
No, dzięki, Jarku. Tradycyjnie, chociaż tutaj nie wiem specjalnie co streszczać, bo dr Keshe od samego początku przygotował ten warsztat pod to, co było pokazane później, czyli ten filmik z tą tajemniczą kuleczką, w której śmiga sobie kolejna kuleczka obracająca się wokół siebie, czyli to, co w początku dr Keshe mówił, że potrzebujemy systemów, tworzyć systemy, które będą odwzorowywać czy to skalę mikro czy makro, w tym przypadku odniósł się do wszechświata, mówił o replikowaniu struktury wszechświata, ruchu, dynamiki, obracania się wokół centrum, obracania się wokół centrum też samego siebie w tym ruchu obrotowym, czyli tak jak to robi Ziemia. Mamy rotację wokół siebie, mamy dzień-noc, mamy rotację wokół Słońca. Mamy też, jeśli chodzi o replikowanie tych systemów, replikować trzeci aspekt, gdzie tutaj dr Keshe mówił, że do tej pory przede wszystkim pracowaliśmy z systemami 2D, a tutaj przy dodaniu tego bicia serca całego systemu, tego tętna pulsu, jesteśmy w stanie uzupełnić to, czego brakowało w tych systemach. I tu też zachodzi, można powiedzieć, pytanie, jaka jest relacja tego, co widzieliśmy tutaj z tą kuleczką, piłeczką, którą widzieliśmy rok czy 2 lata temu, taka fioletowa, rozbłyskająca światłem plazmy. Tam też nie wszystko było ujawnione. Tutaj, jak słyszeliśmy, w tym przypadku też nie będziemy. Zresztą zobaczymy, bo dr Keshe zawsze mówi, że nie, a później na wykładach gdzieś powoli zaczyna uchylać rąbkę tajemnicy, co tak naprawdę dzieje się w tych systemach, które były pokazywane tutaj. Wspomniał o tym, że nie było ruchu, ale też nie do końca, przynajmniej nie wyłapałem sam, jak ten proces miałby przebiegać, skąd ta rotacja się bierze, czy to jest tylko i wyłącznie wynik interakcji pól, czy gdzieś w całym tym procesie był jeszcze dodatkowy ruch obrotowy z zewnątrz. Myślę, że pozostaje czekać na drugą część warsztatu i na przyszłe warsztaty, żeby gdzieś tam znaleźć odpowiedź na te pytania. Bo to właśnie ten ruch rotacyjny, interakcja i ruch pól pozwala na tworzenie się życia, więc żeby móc tworzyć systemy, które będą nas karmiły, które będą się nadawały także do komunikacji, do wielu aspektów energii, schronienia, podróży i tak dalej, wszystkie te aspekty, które adresujemy tutaj przy omawianiu tej technologii, które dr Keshe stara się poprzez plazmatyczne, można powiedzieć, wynalazki i eksperymenty pokazać, jaka jest, gdzie właśnie tkwi limit albo może brak limitu zastosowania technologii plazmy. I to, co tu było powiedziane wcześniej, te 3 warunki replikowania systemów, czyli replikowanie struktury wszechświata, replikowanie tej dynamiki, obracania się wokół siebie i wokół centrum i do tego ten puls, tętno, bicie serca, to samo wszystkie te elementy tu były też przedstawione w kontekście właśnie tego wideo, tej kulki w kulce, którą widzieliśmy z podkreśleniem, że ten system też w tej wodzie jest właśnie to tętno, bicie serca całego systemu. O aplikacjach też już sobie powiedzieliśmy trochę, zresztą myślę, że gdzieś co jakiś czas wracamy do tej wizji karmienia, zaspokajania głodu na tej planecie poprzez właśnie alternatywne systemy żywieniowe, alternatywne do tego, co znamy pod tytułem fizycznej konsumpcji jedzenia, wkładania czegoś do ust. Tutaj mówimy o tym, można powiedzieć, można powiedzieć, wracamy do punktu, w którym kiedyś zderzyli się panowie Tesla i Edison. Tutaj dr Keshe ma taką wizję właśnie tego, co musiało być przekazywane z ręki do ręki jedzenie, żeby to było właśnie robione na dystans bezprzewodowo, tak jak mamy na przykład komunikację bezprzewodową. I tutaj też była powiedziana, gdzieś tam podkreślona rola też członków Rady Uniwersalnej. Było też wspomnienie o społeczności uniwersalnej, o dacie 21 marca 2021 jako ten punkt przełomowy, w którym zobaczymy, co się wydarzy, bo dr Keshe jest dość mocno zagadkowy, jeśli chodzi o to, co tego dnia się wydarzy, ale też jednym z oczekiwań, jeśli chodzi o aplikowanie tej technologii, oprócz naszych gdzieś korzyści zdrowotnych, tutaj było nakreślone też ten aspekt dłuższego życia w tej fizyczności, gdzie dr Keshe mówi o setkach, czy o nawet większym zakresie lat egzystencji na tej planecie. W zasadzie to wszystko z mojej strony, jeśli chodzi gdzieś o przytoczenie, podkreślenie tych paru wątków, które były omówione. Jak ktoś by miał ochotę dorzucić coś ze swojego zrozumienia, to zapraszam. Dzięki.
Dzięki, Przemku. Nie mamy pytań, nie mamy wypowiedzi. Tak więc dzisiaj dokończymy ten warsztat w niedzielę. Życzę Wam wszystkim dobrej nocy i do usłyszenia. To były 420 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z 3 grudnia 2020 roku. Więc dziękuję za uwagę.
It's time for change.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata.
And it's time to understand
I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz. Że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej. By być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni. Nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.